My wife and I started a trash pickup business last year when Waste Management left our rural county in Northeast Florida, and I've seen that these videos are getting recommended to people who have no idea who we are. So a lot of the same questions keep coming up over and over. Rather than posting a long reply to each one of those, I thought what would be easier is to make a video on those common questions. Then I can just post the link to the video to help people answer those questions. But what I've been prefacing all these videos with is this: the way that I make decisions is not the way I expect you to make decisions. I wouldn't even argue that the way I make decisions is the best for people in general. The way I make decisions is the best choice for myself and my family. Our goal with this trash business is to make as much money as possible in as few work days as possible. And that means if we can pay all of our bills and have a little left over for savings, both in the business account and the personal account, and we can do that on 2 work days a week, that's our goal. We don't want to grow beyond that. We don't want a large trash company with employees that we're growing to sell. We're just covering our basics. A lot of folks watching, especially when I talked about bulk pickup 2 weeks ago, why we don't offer that, or why we don't rent out our dump trailer last week, there were a ton of folks saying, but you should do it because even if you make some money, that's better than not making any money. And again, if that's your viewpoint, I don't fault you for it. I'm not going to sit there and say you're wrong, but it is not at all the way I feel. It's not the way I want my family to feel. If I can spend 5 days a week with my family and only 2 days working in trash, that's what's better to me than trying to get just, if I can make 10 or 15 bucks doing this, let me do that. Oh, if I can make 100 bucks doing this, let me do that. That's not what I'm interested in. So this week's question that always seems to come up is why we don't offer recycling. Brad, you should start recycling. It'd be a great way to make some extra money. It'd be a good thing for the environment. And at the end of this video is going to be a reason why, even if I wanted to offer recycling, I just simply couldn't. Now that being said, I don't want to offer recycling services. Why? Well, right off the bat, I'm going to possibly incorrectly assume that a lot of those commenters are from areas where recycling is encouraged. Maybe you have recycling bins included with your trash pickup and that's all you've ever known. Some folks may even live in areas where recycling is mandated, right? You have to recycle certain things. You can't put them in the landfill or you'll get in trouble. So for those type of folks to see someone who throws away cardboard, who throws away plastics, who's not composting food, that can bother some people. But the truth is, there are just so many differences when it comes to handling municipal solid waste in this country in so many different facets. And around here where I am, rural Northeast Florida, recycling is not mandatory, and I wouldn't even say it's encouraged. I mean, we live in a county that has a huge land area and a small population. Our county employees have a hard time maintaining all the dirt roads in the county on a regular basis. To think that there's going to be public outreach to inform people on the benefits of recycling or to offer recycling pickup at no cost, there's just not the budget for it in this county. It's a very low priority. Support for recycling is not something you're going to see very commonly. But even if it's not common, some people might say, well, that's why you should offer it, because nobody else will. If you're the only one who's doing it, you'll make a ton of money. Well, one of the reasons that I do not want to offer recycling pickup is the lack of financial sense it would make. I just received a delivery of 200 trash cans. Every trash can that I place on someone's property represents $36 of monthly revenue for weekly trash pickup. And servicing those cans with our garbage truck on the high side takes about a minute. In most cases, it's less than a minute. But even if we assume a minute, that breaks down to about $540 per hour if I had a solid road of 60 cans and I could do one a minute. Now, I don't have that kind of efficiency yet, but that is the goal. And let me illustrate that with Jobber. Now, what you're looking at here is Jobber. This is a software we use to run our business. And quite frankly, without Jobber, I wouldn't be able to run this trash pickup business. There's too many stops, there's too many customers, there's too much billing to keep track of with pen and paper or a manual process. Like any of the times I talk about Jobber, there will always be a link in the description. If you run a home service business, you can try it out for free yourself. There'll be a link that gives you a free trial and a discount after. Or if you don't want to pay any money, they have a basic free plan that everybody has access to. Again, you can check all those out at the links in the description below. But what you're looking at here is our route. All these green dots are our customers, and this is a section that is extremely efficient. This is what you want. Houses all right next to each other where you can just ride on the back of the truck. You empty one can, speed up, slow down, empty another can, speed up, slow down. And here's another section that's very good. This is a subdivision that's just one big circle, and we can go around, and we're driving about 30 seconds in between houses. Now to contrast, here's an area that's not great. We're driving maybe 2 to 5 minutes in between each one of these houses, and we have to veer off 2 to 5 minutes of the main route. So these couple of houses might take us 15 or 20 minutes, when if I had 20 houses in a row, I could get done that many in the same time. Here's another area that's not very efficient. This one house takes 5 to 7 minutes to get to, and the one past it another 2 minutes, and then on the way back it's about 10 minutes to get back on the route. So these are two houses that are not very efficient. The goal is to have more efficiency rather than less. And when we look at potential customers, everybody needs trash service, or at least everybody needs to take care of the trash. We've got some folks who they will run up to county dumps and take care of it themselves, and they won't pay any of the local companies to pick up their trash. But it means that every house is a potential client. But what about recycling? Well, again, not that many people care about it down here. That opens up a huge risk for my routing if I offer recycling. What if I have a person sign up for it here and here and here and here, but nowhere else, right? Those inefficiencies mean I won't make as much money as I would if I just stuck with trash pickup. And that's without mentioning the fact that I would have to buy new cans for recycling. That's a cost, or at the very least, I'd have to buy different colored lids, which means I would have orange lids that are now not being used, which would be a waste of money. You've also got the fact that I doubt somebody would pay as much for recycling service as they would trash service, which means that the hourly rate I would earn would probably be lower. It just doesn't make financial or business sense to expand into a completely new line of business when, if I just focus on getting more weekly trash pickup customers, I don't have to change anything, and I can get even closer to that $540 hourly rate that the weekly trash pickup allows if the efficiency is there. Now, I will say the only advantage to offering recycling services is that I would tap into, I think, 5,000 to 6,000 relatively densely populated customers in the city limits. Currently, the city has a contract with a company out of Jacksonville to do the trash pickup, but they don't offer recycling. That would be the only silver lining to the dark cloud that would be offering recycling services, but as it is, that's not enough positive to outweigh all the negatives as I perceive them. On top of everything I talked about, recycling would require a whole new work day. If I just add more trash pickup customers, we're at a spot right now where I can still fit those in the one work day a week that we are running, and if we spill over into 2, well, that's the goal anyways. But even if that didn't matter to me, even if I was determined to set up recycling and offer it to everybody in the county, I still couldn't, because the infrastructure that I have access to doesn't allow me to offer recycling services. When I go to the landfill and we've got a garbage truck full of trash, I drive up to the top of the mountain and dump the trash out. You want to know where the recycling goes at the landfill? Into this trailer. It's a 7x10 dump trailer that gets sent out to some third party for processing, which brings up a whole nother hitch. Even if I did have a place that could accept the recycling load, most likely they would require that it be separated, right? At the very least, your glass has to be separated for safety, but it takes very sophisticated equipment to be able to accept mixed recycling loads. So if all I give my clients is one garbage can for recycling, and all I have to pick it up in is one garbage truck that dumps everything together, even if I wanted to offer recycling and the landfill accepted it, I would still run into that issue of having a mixed load that probably couldn't be processed. So while I am all for saving the environment wherever is possible and reducing and reusing and recycling, when it comes to offering recycling in our trash pickup business, it doesn't make business sense. It doesn't make financial sense. It doesn't make logical sense. It just doesn't really make any sense. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you in the next one. So I'm hoping that caught it on camera, but when you smush an aerosol can, especially if it's like got white coloring in it, it's pretty nerve-wracking because it looks just like a fire. I sat here for quite a while and I think it was probably spray paint or something, but yeah, that's kind of scary.